All right, so here is an emotional scene that we're going to have that will fill you with emotional feels. The wife and child that might have like crept into your peripheral vision while you were bunny hopping around the place and examining shit in your house. Yeah, she's about to die, and your son gets stolen.
Compare this, not to fall back on Naughty Dog, but compare this to the opening of The Last of Us when we did that. Like, how that really sold this, like, sense of loss. And
after just, like, 30 seconds, you could already feel the tension in that cutscene. And this is nothing. I feel nothing here. I could hum show tunes while I watch Kellogg shoot your wife and steal your child. It just has absolutely no emotional weight.
Oh no, my wife that gave me the black eye forever.
Okay. Yeah, but you can imagine how emotional this could have felt. You know, you're with your wife and child, it's a peaceful moment. Suddenly are you gonna make it to the shelter in time? You have to race against the clock to make it before the doors close, before your wife and child are taken from you forever. You make it and you're safe, and you're some of the only people who make it. It's a bittersweet moment. And as this is happening, at the last minute, your wife and child are snatched from you. Or your husband or child are snatched from you. It could have been great.
It could have been. It just, you know, needed to be paced and written like a dramatic scene, and not like, holy cow, we gotta get this bullshit over with.
Come on! There has to be a release!
It wasn't the most miserable thing ever, but...
Oh, it wasn't bad.
No, but it
just wasn't great.
It was just workmanlike. It was like, you're here for the RPG bits, let's get through this crap. And as soon as the game's like, let's just get through this crap, you don't care, because now everyone's just like, okay, let's all get through this crap.
You can just feel the apathy.
Kind of counterintuitively, that's probably worked out okay for them, because they don't actually want you to care much about this. And I can hear somebody, like, justifying it like, oh, you're not really supposed to be too motivated to do the main plot. If they made the scene really emotionally compelling, then you would do the main plot and you would feel guilty doing side quests, which is true, but this really says to me that if making an emotional moment work makes your game not work, you probably needed to make your game a little differently.
Yeah, this is too personal for the type of game they're making.
Oh wait, your wife does have a name. She's Nora.
Do it like Fallout New Vegas. You get shot in the head by a dude, and he's a jerk, and then you have to go find him. And then it's your own personal quest. So if you want to stop at the dinosaur for a while and hang out, it's fine, because revenge is gonna happen later. But it's not a big deal right now. You're at the dinosaur.
Yeah. Right.
And ultimately, you decide how you feel about getting shot in the head. Your character doesn't wake up and say, "I can't wait to find that guy who shot me in the head and shoot him in the head."
Exactly.
Like your character does in this scene.
Right, and I can believe that, oh, I can stop on this adventure of vengeance to, like, dick around, because this is a game about dicking around. It's at its strongest when you're dicking around.
Definitely.
But you can't dick around when you're trying to rescue your infant son. That is just so at odds with the intent of the gameplay. If they
I dicked around.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can finish.
No, it's completely at odds with your goal. That's it.
Okay, so I'm gonna get this out of the way now. I played this game, and I actually got really into my character, and for a while, the illusion kind of worked. I won't say this game is good for role-playing, because it isn't, but for my entire, like, first 40 or 50 hours, like, there's something happening where playing my character meant doing X. And it just so happens that the game wanted me to do X. And it always was sort of superimposed, like, what I wanted to do, what the game was letting me do, and it worked. And it all was really compelling up until this one moment where suddenly I was violently ejected from X to point Z23. And from then on, I think I've played about 10 minutes of this game.
I had the opposite effect. I hated the first, maybe 10 hours of this game. I was just sort of like, when am I going to get to the Fallout shit? And then once I got to Good Neighbor and started, like, severely dicking around, and the game kind of let me be this silly character. Because in this beginning, you're not a silly character. You're like, oh no, my kid. And then, but later, around the time you find Good Neighbor, suddenly you can start being fucking silly as shit. And that's when I started liking it.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Because I really don't want this LP. Like, I have plenty of bad things to say about this game, and several really good things, plus lots of little good things. But I really just don't want the season to degenerate into just us whining about the game, because I don't think it really deserves it.
It probably will.
It probably will.
Well, we're at the beginning now, and we're stuck in. Well, I don't know what Josh is doing right now, but we're stuck in the story part where you're like from. Like, the first hour of this game is so setting up this story that it will then ask you to not care about so you can dick around and have fun. And that part's really rough. So the beginning of this is going to be kind of rough. But it does get better once you get cut loose and you get to have some fun adventure times.
I will say, if you can ignore... Oh, go ahead.
Okay, nothing sells the tension between Bethesda trying to be an action-adventure story-based game developer and Bethesda trying to be an open-world dick-around RPG quite like getting out of your cryopod, searching in a world full of weird monsters gone mad desperately for your son, which was wrested from the frozen arms of your dead wife, finding a video game and playing the video game for a while with the video game.
So, while Rutskarn was talking for a long time, earlier there's a part where you see a skeleton, and then you see a little prompt that says activate. And when that happened to me in the game, I was like, do I get to finally be a necromancer? Is this finally happening?
Sadly, no.
Am I activating? No.
Is that the computer that says errand signal on it?
Coming back later for you.
What?
I'm a narcissist.
You're in mark for yourself.
We don't have to look at it.
How do we discover if it says errand signal on it?
The part that got me is when he's like, a giant roach, what the hell? And you're like, okay, we're gonna characterize this voice protagonist. And that was basically that was the end of our character's origin being relevant.
Right?
Like, he's not going to go when he sees a death claw, which is in like 10 minutes, he's not gonna go, what in God's name is that monster? No, he's gonna be like, he's going to say absolutely nothing, because he's apparently completely acclimated by that point.
He got it out of his system. I'm actually really glad, because when this happened, I'm like, is this gonna be a thing where like my character just says shit all the time? Because that's a deal breaker.
And this is the kind of thing that I always handled internally. I always I decided what my character was feeling and thinking. And so it really intruded, like I decide, oh, my character's freaked out or my character's scared. And then my character actually, no, they're angry or they're, you know, they think this is funny. And you're like, oh, that doesn't work with what I thought was going on. And that would be fine if this was like a vibrant, interesting character, but it's not. It's just is barely there. It's like, what if Gordon
even if it was
Freeman
fucking Tomb Raider? It works in like Tomb Raider and Uncharted, where these characters, you just know it's a character that you aren't like becoming. It's a character that you're like playing. But these Fallout games, you automatically just go, this is my character. This is I'm in charge. And so that's why the voice prompts don't always work.
Yeah, it is interesting how this game began with a character creation process that was like, okay, do you want slight vitiligo blemishes on your left and right side of the faces, or do you want a slight bruising on your left nair? And then for the rest of the game, your characterization is, do you want sarcastic or regular?
Yeah, and they both have the same result anyway. You both...
Would you like to do this quest? Yes, 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 sarcastic yes.
Yep.
No, it's yes, yes, sarcastic yes. Not right now, but I'll think about it.
It's yes, yes, sarcastic yes, no, yes.
I'd second what Mumbles was saying. I really think that it could work also if it was a Jensen-esque, like, you are this character, and within this space of this character,
yeah, or Geralt.
It works in Doom! It works in Doom, where the guy's like, save the energy thing! We need the energy thing! And Doom guy's like, stomp, 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 stomp. Like, it works in other games, it just doesn't work here.
The door broke.
The Doom Marine is better characterized than this guy.
So here's the thing then. Do we think that if Bethesda got its way before they theoretically redesigned it, and if it was just like your set character completely, do you think that they would have had more interesting options, or do you think it would have looked exactly like this?
No.
To be honest,
No.
I feel like
They
it would have looked exactly like
up.
this.
They don't know
They
how
would
to
have fucked it up.
They don't know how to
It would have been
character.
worse somehow.
They don't know how to tell a serious character-driven drama. They can make interesting characters, like Hancock's cool. They can make interesting people to meet, but they can't make like interesting relationships between all those people.
Yeah, I would say that, like, the reason Jensen works as an interesting character is that your choices are pretty much limited to how you approach tactically your problems, but you're always Jensen. The problem with Bethesda games is that they're big, sprawling open worlds where you get to pick which problems matter, how you want to solve them, where you want to go, and that's just so broad that it kills the ability to have this sort of scripted character that you work within a space of.
Bethesda's really been trying
Oh god,
to
it's all blurry. I need glasses.
pare down their large, sprawling... Sorry, I got distracted by the subtitle that said "shocked sigh" and slightly
Right?
I turned on the ambient subtitles, and it's
I'm glad you did. I'm actually
It is
real
pretty
glad
good
you
so
did.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's
can we
direct.
just say
That's
shock
like acting
sigh?
directions. Like why are
Shock sigh.
So,
Yeah, can I
we're
have
gonna
a
get
little
dog...
more shock?
We're gonna get dog meat pretty soon, and I have to ask, did they fix that bug where he can get the cryo gun really early in the game by just going back into the vault?
I believe they did. There were a lot of bugs that I expected them to fix very quickly, and they didn't. Which I will exploit to the greatest possible degree, but I think that was one that they did fix. I don't know.
Anyway, as I was saying before, we all got distracted by the same thing. Bethesda's been, you know, back in kind of the Morrowind Daggerfall era, they were trying to provide the largest pool of opportunities, possibilities, tools, avenues to explore, so that you can have a lot of different kinds of experiences. And since then, they've been trying to pare it down, and I think this has been a more successful model, into having one world that has a lot of experiences which can be experienced like non-linearly, like you could go do this then do that, you could do this while doing that, but it's pretty much the same thing no matter who you do it with, and it pretty much works out the same way. And there's pretty much no possibility spaces that are closed off.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That explains their leveling setup.
Pots.
Where the leveling setup is slowly becoming good at everything, and I'm sure we'll talk about that as we gain levels. But...
So I'd like to point something out early on. The really interesting thing about this game is that for a Fallout game, there's a lot of bright colors, a lot of primary colors, and it's all in the paints and machines and things that are man-made.
Yeah.
And if you know that going in, you can notice it all over the world. It's pretty neat.
Codsworth?
Which I actually really liked too.
No, that was good.
too.
It's a really, for a Fallout game, really pretty. It's not, well, I was gonna say it's not Mad Max pretty, but it's a different kind of pretty.
It might be the first
It's
somewhat
much
attractive
better
Fallout
than the
game,
last
yes.
couple of Bethesda games.
Yes.
Best not let the wife see you in that state.
Well, I mean, the first two Fallout games, they had good art design for what they were, but I don't think I would call them attractive.
Right.
The first two, no.
How dare you?
How should I respond to this?
How do you not like the desert? Just brown everywhere.
It's brown everywhere, and it's clearly ripping off a bunch of movies like Mad Max and a couple other things. I love Fallout 1 and 2, but the art design was never their strong suit.
I liked how putting on different armor changed who you were, and changed your haircut and your build.
I liked giving what's-his-face the submachine guns that he said he was really good at.
Sean was a baby! Yeah. Sean was a baby! How the fuck did he play charades? He was a literal baby!
Been kidnapped.
I see what they're going for here with Codsworth being crazy. Like, they're trying to reinforce the sense of the world having gone mad in your absence by having this, you know, literally Codsworth has gone mad. But for some reason, I actually found this conversation really frustrating. Like, not in a good in-character sort of way, but like...
No,
I didn't want to have it.
It just felt more perfunctory.
Doesn't matter how long.
Yeah, just hurry up.
Yeah, he doesn't feel crazy in an interesting way. It's just more like, hurry up, get through this, hurry up, acclimate the player to this bullshit so that they can run off.
That they already know.
It feels like you're doing what it feels like when you're doing improv or RPG or scene with somebody, and they keep refusing your suggestions and trying to take it in their own direction. Yeah. Like, for somehow this conversation captures that.
A little bit weird. What's wrong?
So I went full persuasion tree in this game because I hate the idea that in a video game... Yeah, I know. I just hate the idea in a video game that there will be dialogue options that I won't see. It actually fucks me up to the point where I can't play the Shadowrun games very well because I want to play charisma builds so I'll get all the etiquettes, but charisma builds are only good for classes that I find worthless, and there's really tight point economy.
Well, this game's super frustrating because I went high charisma on my first playthrough. It's so rarely used, and usually it does nothing, or it'll give you one extra response. This isn't like, you know, you're still gonna have to do the quest. Maybe they'll pay you a little bit more. It's just a way to occasionally get 25 extra caps out of somebody.
Remember in Fallout New Vegas, where if you were good at bombs, it would change the dialogue option a little bit, and so then you get another thing to do. Or if you were good at science, it would change the dialogue option.
We should go play Path of Exile instead.
It's like, but Bethesda, Obsidian fixed this. They made it good. You didn't notice that? Did you not play New Vegas?
They hate them for it. I think Bethesda has real heat with Obsidian for it, because they're like, what the fuck? You made this game like good, like, ugh, we're gonna make it worse. And you're never gonna make another Fallout game.
It's interesting because this game feels a lot like they saw what New Vegas did, and they said, "Well, fuck you guys, we're gonna do that but better," and they didn't actually succeed all that well.
Yeah, we're gonna do what you did, except we're gonna give you 3 factions that you can side with, just like you did. Only we're gonna have a voice protagonist, and you'll see, and it's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna have blackjack and hookers, and it's just like,
and none of the. See, in your game, all the factions had all these diverse ideological properties, and you weren't sure which one to join because it was actually a really deep philosophical issue. In our game, all these factions have all of these diverse philosophies, and you're not sure which one to join because it's philosophically thorny. In your game, you see all these sorts of practical examples of what the factions stand for, and you see the good and bad things they do for their communities. In our game, we have... you can...
everybody's an idiot, and which idiot do you want to side with? How do you figure that out, huh? How will you even make that decision?
I mean, like,
choose the least stupidest idiot?
I struggle with some of the themes that are in this game because they're there, but they're also not there, and I feel like whatever themes exist are there completely by accident, and Bethesda has no idea how to develop them.
Yes, you are correct.
Like, again, if we're going full balls out spoilers, like, you know,
yeah, do it.
The whole idea that, well,
wait,
the whole idea that, like,
please don't spoil the twist with Sean. Or if you have to, you can.
No, it's okay. We'll get there when we get there. We got a long game ahead of us.
Did you know I had that spoiled for me on accident? Did I tell you the story?
I have not even completely finished this fucking video game. For the same reason.
So basically what happened was, I was like, okay, I know that the ending spoiler is out there. I'm not gonna look for the spoiler. I'm gonna be good. And then I saw this YouTube video that's like, check out all these cool new guns you can get in the Fallout game. I was like, cool, I want to check out these cool new guns. And so the video has the gun, and then it slowly zooms in on the name of the gun, and then it has the fucking ending spoiler on there. I was like, no!
I work in customer service for video games.
Actually,
trolls
you say
like
that,
to
Mumbles.
spoil stuff.
You say that, Mumbles, but I actually just realized I might not know how this game ends. Like, I might not know what you're talking about, because I actually haven't finished this game because I can't stand it.
Okay.
I think you know.
Show of hands, how many have actually finished this game and gotten to the credits?
Okay, there are 4 different. There are at least 4 endings. I think there's a couple extra. The only one I've done all the way to the end is siding with the Institute, and that was just. It's the worst one. That wasn't because that was what I wanted to like gather up all the information, and then once I know what the Institute's all about, then I'll pick a real ending. And when I got there, it was like the Institute's about nothing, and they're doing bullshit for no reason, and I lost all interest in the story because it's like I don't even want to destroy these guys because they don't stand for anything. I mean, when the other factions ask you to destroy them, I don't feel like, yeah, I've got to get them. I feel like, whatever.
Okay. Sure.
In the game where
kind of annoying.
In the game
Caesar's
that I
Legion's
got the
burning
farthest
villages.
on.
Oh, Caesar's Legion was the perfect video game bad guy because there were a bunch of fucking dude bros that like hated everyone and like hated women and like burned down villages and did shitty things and like thought they were so cool. Yeah, I hated them and I loved killing them. I loved it.
Like,
This game I'm just like, alright, I guess I'll kill some dorks.
I don't hate the Institute. I feel nothing for the. I feel like why do they even do this? It makes no sense. I feel complete apathy towards them because they don't have an idea that I could hate or like, boy, they are so wrong about this. They seem to do a bunch of shit at random for no reason, and they don't.
Wow.
They don't even have reason.
How long have we been waiting to do this season? We're getting so ahead of ourselves. We're griping about like the factions that we're still hours away from meeting.
Okay, but let's okay, go ahead, Josh.
Well, in the game that I got the farthest on, I was like a couple quests away from getting the Institute ending, and I was just like, I got to the Institute and it was like, well, I don't give a shit about anybody else in this game, so why not?
Yeah, it is. You're kind of there already. Like, you have to at least go there. And then once you get there, you're like, well, I'd have to go somewhere else to pick a different ending. Shit, I might as well just do this one.
I didn't have the heart to kill off one of the factions. There was one faction that you have to kill for the Institute, and I just couldn't do it. I was like, I can't do that. I can't.
I know what you mean. Tunnel snakes do rule.
To say good things about the game, what Josh is spending an entire episode on now is the strong point of the game, which is, you know, running around and exploring and looting and, hey, what's in here? I don't know that we need to spend
He's not looting, he's grabbing everything.
Yeah.
This is what I do. This
bottles.
is how
It's
I play.
important.
Because you need it for crafting.
Yep. Yeah, guys, you know how... You know how your first time playing Fallout 3, you grab a bunch of like tin cans and empty bottles because you're like, this will be useful. And then you realize, oh wait, this is a complete waste of time, and it's just... It's a good thing because it's really a pain in the ass to be carrying around 600 pounds of crap all at the same time. Yeah, it turns out this game, they looked at that and they're like, what can we do to encourage this really serious behavior?
Slacks from 200 years ago.
I never ever upgrade my carrying capacity because I don't give a fuck. I'm one of those people like, alright, I don't need this gun anymore, throws it fucking away into a rad scorpion. I don't care. But this game, since I love crafting, because even though it's awful to me, I have like the highest
Josh,
carrying capacity.
Go back.
Josh, underneath Sean's crib. It's like underneath Sean's crib. No, underneath the dresser beside his crib.
Oh yeah, that's
sorry, Mumble.
It's okay. I'm done.